Let's go, baby. Wow. Hey guys, it's Glenn from Glenn'sCarCollection.com, and this is the first drive of the year in my 2011 Audi R8 with a gated manual V10. Only 725 gated manuals. They made about 13,000 of these. First gen V10 725 had a manual transmission, and all the manual transmissions were gated. Now, can you shift a gated as fast as a regular trans? No, of course you can't. But you do get all the visceral excitement you want here, and I can't think of a better car. Now, these cars have gone way up in value, so usually I buy a car before it goes up in value and then reap the benefits of that car doubling in value, like my 993 Turbo or several NSXs and S2000s that I've owned, my Lotus Exige. Plenty of cars that I bought that really skyrocketed in value. This car skyrocketed in value before I could bought one. I sold my McLaren in 2019, end of 2019, to buy one. I had a handshake on a purchase in 2020 for a lot less than I paid on this one, and that was a 2014, one of the last ones to facelifted, so the Gen 1, I guess 0.2, let's call it. And there's only like 50 or 100 of those in manual, and buyer changed his mind. I certainly don't blame him, and it took me all this time to find another one, and I paid to get one. Believe me, I paid. But they've probably gone up another 20 grand since I bought it in October. So a high mileage V10 manual with probably an accident on it. This is a clean car, original paint. I'm the third owner. An accident high mileage car probably sells for about 125, and the lowest mileage 14 or 15 manual, because that's rare, sells for about 199. And I can really see these cars being 150 to 250 like the NSX. To me, when the NSX went away in 05, when this V8 came out in model year 2008, people said that basically was the new NSX, and it was. And there's a lot of similarities here, and maybe I'll do a head-to-head video, my NSX and this, where they're very similar. You know, they're both mid-engine, they're both have really good build quality, they're both essentially dream cars. They both have the engines right around your head that you could see, but I'll tell you, the Audi, the V10 sounds way better than the NSX engine. The NSX engine sounds great, but obviously it's an Acura Legend engine. It's not necessarily a Lamborghini engine like this car is. Now, this car is a dry sump, so it takes a long time for that oil to warm up. So we have the water temperature is up to speed now, so we could accelerate, but the oil temperature still isn't. You have a 5.2 liter V10 in the best place where God intended, in the middle. Revs to 8,400 RPM, according to my tachometer here. People say 87, but I think that's going in the red line. So I guess technically you could go to 87, but I don't want to ever damage my car, so I never do that. And I would never even honestly rev it to 8,000 without it being fully warmed up. But this is really nice in here. It is, you have heated seats, you have a great interior. And from what I understand, there's less than 25 of these cars with a V10 manual transmission. Now you hear that click-clack, that's awesome. See, my heated seats are on here, that's probably why it's so hot. Air conditioning works great. Now where my 2017 911 kills this car is obviously infotainment. That's Apple CarPlay. This, at some point, so let's talk about mods. At some point, I'll probably put an Apple CarPlay in here. This is gonna be a weekend car for me, so I'll put as many mods as I possibly can, but I definitely don't necessarily need CarPlay. It'd be cool to have Waze here because obviously you're going to be exercising this car. Handling is great. Now, it's a rear bias all-wheel drive system. I think only something like 15% goes to the front. Correct me if I'm wrong. So it drives like a rear drive car. I'm sure if I really pushed it, I would experience some understeer. I did experience understeer in the second gen, the new one that only comes with a PDK, especially the convertible version. So that's why I really like that rear wheel series version. which I thought was fantastic with the rear drive. And a lot of people convert these to rear drive. You just kind of unhook the front, take a couple pieces out, save 100, 150 pounds, and now you have a rear drive car. So that is maybe something I'll do. But honestly, so far I haven't noticed that the understeer getting in the way. So let's beat that RV. Let me just adjust. All right, the oil temperature finally came up. And I drove this a while, probably 20 minutes before I turned the camera on. So this dry sump, you definitely have to warm up your oil before you start revving it out. Now, this is the only car we got a warranty on it just because it's really expensive. The engine's $50,000. The mag ride is $2,000 per quarter, so that's $8,000, and it seems to have 100% failure rate. So I got the 7-year, 70,000 mile warranty, which I was surprised you could still get on in 2011. It was like $8,700 to get that, and I think it's well worth it. That comes out to $1,100, $1,200 a year. Well worth it if you ask me. This is just a quick drive. I have showings this afternoon, so I took the 911 out. I'll post that video. I don't know what you'll see first. I wanted to take this out because I've been dying. Usually, I've been dying to drive it. Usually, I watch YouTube videos on cars I want to buy to learn everything I can, or I've reviewed them myself. And since I have 900 videos, I go back and watch that too, because I forget sometimes. And I'm still watching R8 videos because I've only been able to I bought this just before they started putting salt on the roads at the very end of October. And I waited a month essentially for that warranty to kick in. It's 1,000 miles or a month. Now the warranty is all kicked in and I still only put like 500 miles on it. So let's go, baby. Wow. Very fast car, about 3.8 seconds to 60. And honestly, it feels faster than that because it's so visceral. There's so much going on here. The gated shifter probably honestly slows you down. If you don't want a manual or can't afford one, I highly recommend the S-Tronic, not the R-Tronic, which is a dual clutch instead of a single clutch, and that was available from 2014 on. So all the new ones have the S-Tronic, the second gen, the current gen of that car, and then obviously the 14 and the 15 models, the end of the first gen. So it's too early to tell because I've only had this car a couple months and 500 miles, but so far this, to me, is an exotic car that I could keep for a very long time. I think it's going to appreciate in value. I think manual V10s, clean ones, will be $200,000 cars one day. So I think you can essentially drive this car for free, and there's really nothing like it on the road. There's just nothing like gated today in today's market that could give you the feeling of this car. You could get a gated Gallardo, but that's going to cost you an arm and a leg. So I highly, highly recommend the Audi R8. All right, so this is just a short video. I want to get this car out and get some exercise. And remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to get the car all dirty now. And I'll see you guys next time.